Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the bizarre and unsettling world of creatures found inside humans. You won't believe some of these cases. The human body, a marvel of nature, a complex ecosystem in its own right. But it's not just our cells and organs that call our bodies home. Sometimes unwanted visitors take up residence within us, creatures that invade our flesh and blood, often with gruesome consequences. Join me, dear viewers, as we explore the unsettling yet fascinating world of parasites, a world where survival hinges on the exploitation of an unwitting host. Prepare to be amazed, disgusted, and perhaps even a little itchy, as we uncover the truth about the creatures that live inside us. Our first subject, the botfly, a creature whose life cycle is as fascinating as it is revolting. Found in the tropical regions of the Americas, the botfly seeks a warm-blooded host, often a mammal, but sometimes, unfortunately, a human. The female botfly doesn't lay her eggs directly on her host. Instead, she employs a cunning strategy, hijacking other insects like mosquitoes to deliver her offspring. Latching onto a mosquito mid-flight, the female botfly attaches her eggs to its abdomen. When the unsuspecting mosquito lands on a human to feed, the botfly eggs are transferred to the host's skin. The warmth of the human body triggers the eggs to hatch, and tiny wriggling larvae burrow their way into their new home. Beneath the skin, the botfly larva feasts on its host's flesh, growing larger by the day. A painful swelling develops, a telltale sign of the intruder within. The larva breathes through a small hole in the skin, creating a gruesome breathing tube. As the larva matures, the discomfort intensifies. The host may feel the larva moving beneath their skin, a truly unsettling sensation. Finally, after several weeks of feasting, the larva, now plump and ready for the next stage of its life cycle, emerges from the host's body, leaving a gaping wound behind. Removal of a botfly larva requires a steady hand and a strong stomach. Doctors often use a surgical procedure to extract the larva, ensuring no fragments remain to cause infection. Our next stop takes us deep inside the human digestive system, a dark and often treacherous environment, even for the most unwelcome of guests. Here, we encounter the tapeworm, a parasitic flatworm that can grow to a shocking length, sometimes exceeding 10 meters. Tapeworms enter the human body through the consumption of undercooked or contaminated meat. Beef, pork, and fish are common culprits, harboring tapeworm larvae in their muscle tissue. Once inside the human intestine, the tapeworm larva attaches itself to the intestinal wall using hooks and suckers. It then begins to absorb nutrients from the host's digested food, growing steadily larger. What's truly remarkable, or perhaps disturbing, is that tapeworm infections can go unnoticed for years. The parasite is a master of stealth, often causing no noticeable symptoms in its host. However, as the tapeworm grows, it can cause a range of health problems, from abdominal discomfort and weight loss to vitamin deficiencies and anemia. In severe cases, tapeworms can obstruct the intestines, leading to life-threatening complications. Treatment for tapeworm infection typically involves a course of oral medication that targets the parasite, causing it to detach from the intestinal wall and pass out of the body in the stool. Prevention, however, is always better than cure. Thoroughly cooking meat to an internal temperature of at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit kills tapeworm larvae, preventing infection. Proper hand washing and food hygiene are also crucial in breaking the parasite's life cycle. Our journey into the world of human parasites continues with a creature whose life cycle is as intricate as it is agonizing for its host, the guinea worm. This parasitic nematode, found primarily in parts of Africa, relies on a complex interplay between humans and water fleas to complete its life cycle. The guinea worm begins its life in water, where microscopic larvae infect tiny crustaceans known as water fleas. Humans become infected by unknowingly consuming contaminated water containing these infected water fleas. Once inside the human stomach, the water fleas are digested, but the guinea worm larvae survive, burrowing through the intestinal wall and migrating through the body. They grow slowly, reaching lengths of up to 3 feet, usually in the host's limbs. About a year after infection, the female guinea worm, now fully mature, creates a burning blister on the host's skin, usually on the lower leg or foot. This blister is incredibly painful, and contact with water causes it to rupture, revealing the worm's anterior end. Over the next few days or weeks, the female worm slowly emerges from the blister, releasing thousands of larvae into the water with each painful contraction. This process can take weeks to complete, and the infected individual is often incapacitated during this time. Removing a guinea worm requires patience and a delicate touch. The worm must be carefully extracted by winding it around a small stick, a little each day, to avoid breaking it and causing further infection. Our exploration of parasitic horrors now takes us to the rainforests of Central and West Africa, where we encounter the Loa Loa worm, a nematode with a penchant for the human eye. This worm, transmitted through the bite of infected deer flies, embarks on a disturbing journey through the human body. After entering the bloodstream through the fly's bite, the Loa Loa larvae migrate through the body, maturing into adult worms over several months. The adult worms can grow up to 3 inches long, and they have a peculiar habit of traveling beneath the skin. Imagine, if you will, the unsettling sensation of feeling a worm wriggling beneath your skin. This is a common experience for those infected with Loa Loa, as the worms move freely throughout the body, often visible as a thin white line beneath the surface. While the worms can travel anywhere in the body, they seem to have a particular affinity for the eye. Seeing a Loa Loa worm crawling across the surface of the eye is a truly disturbing sight, and it can cause temporary vision problems and eye irritation. Fortunately, Loa Loa infection is rarely life-threatening, and medication is available to kill the worms and prevent further complications. However, the experience of hosting these creepy crawlers is undoubtedly an unsettling one. Our next encounter brings us face to face with the filarial worms, a group of parasitic nematodes responsible for a debilitating and disfiguring disease known as lymphatic filariasis or elephantiasis. These microscopic worms, transmitted through the bite of infected mosquitoes, wreak havoc on the human lymphatic system. Once inside the human host, filarial larvae migrate to the lymphatic vessels, which are responsible for draining fluids and fighting infection. Here, they mature into adult worms, growing up to 4 inches long and can live for several years. The adult worms block the lymphatic vessels, disrupting the normal flow of lymph fluid. This blockage causes fluid to build up in the affected tissues, leading to swelling, pain, and thickening of the skin. In severe cases, the affected limbs, often the legs and scrotum, can swell to an enormous size, resembling the limbs of an elephant, hence the name elephantiasis. This disfigurement can be incredibly debilitating, leading to social stigma and a reduced quality of life. Lymphatic filariasis affects millions of people worldwide, primarily in tropical and subtropical regions. While medication can kill the worms and prevent further damage, the swelling and disfigurement caused by the disease are often irreversible. Our final journey into the world of human parasites takes us to the microscopic realm, where we encounter the amoeba, a single-celled organism capable of causing devastating infections. While many amoebas are harmless, some, like Naegleria fowleri, pose a serious threat to human health. Naegleria fowleri, commonly known as the brain-eating amoeba, is found in warm freshwater environments, such as lakes, rivers, and hot springs. It enters the human body through the nose, usually during swimming or other water activities. Once inside the nasal passages, the amoeba travels along nerve fibers to the brain, where it multiplies rapidly, causing a rare and often fatal infection known as primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, PAM. The symptoms of PAM are severe and progress rapidly, including headache, fever, stiff neck, seizures, and hallucinations. Unfortunately, the infection is often fatal, with a survival rate of less than 5%. Preventing Naegleria fowleri infection involves avoiding contact with warm fresh water, especially during the summer months when the amoeba is most active. If swimming in fresh water is unavoidable, using nose clips or holding your nose can reduce the risk of infection. From the botfly's gruesome nursery beneath the skin to the amoeba's microscopic menace in the brain, we've explored a world of parasites that thrive at the expense of their human hosts. These creatures, while unsettling, remind us of the interconnectedness of life on Earth and the constant battle for survival that plays out in every corner of the natural world. Thanks for watching. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more intriguing content. Remember, the natural world is full of wonder, even in its most unsettling forms. Until next time, keep exploring the wilds of nature, but be wary of the creatures that may be lurking within.